Namaste everyone. In Durga Saptashati, in the beginning of the Pradhama Adhyaya, you will find this invocation prayer. Asya Pradhama charitrasyaBrahmā ṛṣiḥ.Mahākālī devatā.Gāyatrī chandas.Nandā śaktiḥ.Rakta dantikā bījam.Agnistattvam.Ṛgvedaḥ svarūpam.Śrī Mahākālī prītyarthepradhama charitra jape viniyogaḥ. Let's dive deep into what is this invocation prayer, and you will also find a similar flavor of invocation prayer in the Madhyama Charitra also and Uttara Charitra also, which is the second and the third Adhyayas. So let's look into what does each of these phrases mean. All right, hidden explanation, or what does this mean, these phrases, is that Brahma is the Rishi. Here, the Brahma represents the creator of the universe. And in this context, Lord Brahma, who is the creator of the universe, is the seer, the sage, who is the originator of this narrative or this divine scripture of Devi Mahatmya or Durga Saptashati. So he is the originator and he is the sage who informed this to Markandeya Rishi. From there it moved on to his disciples, Kalyani and other disciples, and from there onwards this came to us. So while we are invoking, it's a summary, a short guideline on what is this whole Pradhama Adhyaya all about. So who said? Lord Brahma is the originator. So we are remembering with gratitude that he is the originator. Then who is the goddess on whom we are about to read this scripture? Yes, the main goddess is Mahākālī. So that is why we told it is Mahākālī devatā. So here in this Pradhama Charitra, the total thing is how Mahākālī is the one who helps to destroy these two Madhukaitab, both of them. So we are invoking, we are learning about this charitra of Mahākālī. So we are invoking that energy. Third is Gayatri Chandaha. What is Chandaha? This chandas in Sanskrit is grammar. So even in other languages like Telugu and other Hindi, so chandas means it's grammar. So even the Vedas do follow a particular structure. So Gayatri Mantra, the Gayatri Mantra starts with Om Bhurvuvaswa Tatsavatharyenim Vargo Demasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. So there we are breaking. Okay, Om Bhurvuvaswa, then break, then Tatsavatharya Renyam. So there's a break. So that break, meaning this, the sentences which is in this scripture should also be broken. It's like it follows the same kind of a structure of how you utter Gayatri Mantra. So it is like after certain syllables, break. Then after certain syllables, break. So to give that indication, they have told as a reference. So some lines can be read in one line, right? It is to be read in one line. So some has to be broken into multiple pauses. So to give that understanding, this whole scripture is broken. It has to be paused at certain levels. So that's the reason they have given this Gayatri Chandas as a reference. And the next is Nanda Shakti. What is Nanda? Is Shakti is energy. So see, it's an invocation prayer. So we are bringing that energy to call upon them. Okay. So as we are remembering Lord Brahma, who is the narrator, and we are praying upon Mahākālī, and we are following the structure while we are reciting these prayers, we are following the structure of Gayatri Mantra, which has 24 syllables and 3 lines and pauses at various places. Similar way, we are also reciting this prayer. And then who's, Mahakali is considered to be the fierce energy. So are we evoking the fierce energy, or what kind of energy are we evoking? So for that, though Mahakali is considered to be the fierce energy, there is also various forms, and one of the forms of Mahakali is Nanda Swarupam. So, which is a very joyful, peaceful, the goddess who helps to enlighten, spiritual enlightenment. She puts the seeds of spiritual enlightenment. So we are looking at Mahakali's attributes. In Mahakali's attributes, are we looking at the fiercefulness or the enlightenment part, which Mahakali is the one who helps us get there? To help us remove the illusions or delusions, attachments, and put us towards more peace and more joy within. It's all about inner work, right? So that's what we are. Which form of Shakti are we evoking is the Nanda Shakti, which is more of a blissful energy, enlightenment energy, not the feared nature of Mahakali. That's not what we are evoking in this Pradhama Gandha. Then Rakta dantikā bījam. Again, though we are evoking the Nanda Shakti for spiritual enlightenment or for happiness, inner peace, and joy, Raktadantika is why is Shakti called Chandima is called Raktadantika also is because in the Durga Mahatmya we'll also discuss it. There's a Rakshas Asur by name Raktadantudu. So Raktadanta. So this guy has a special power where even if someone is trying to kill him, one drop falls also. Again, there's another demonic form that gets emerged. And that way, you know, while fighting to kill these asuras, Ma Chandi, she also have to have another demi form where one goddess is killing, another goddess is taking him all the blood which falls while cutting, chopping his head and stuff. So while she's drinking all that blood, because of that drinking, her teeth becomes red in color. That is why it is Rakta means blood, dantikā means the teeth has become like pomegranate red. So that seed, okay, while we are looking at spiritual enlightenment, what is the seed within us that we want to take up is that bījam of Raktadantika. Here, what is the hidden meaning is not that we have to be fearful, but the determination. Okay, so if she is not able to do in this way, she also took another form parallelly to kill this asura, this demon. So that's the determination with which she helped to destroy this demonic energy. So within us, we seek to follow or recite or chant Durga Saptashati or attend the Homa, participate in the Homa, or do it in as part of Navaratri. For what purposes? We might have ultimately see if at all we are looking at uh, money as a desire. What is that we get out of it? Fundamentally is like peace, right? Peace, and then inner joy that yes, my troubles are done, and we'll be so grateful that this goddess has helped me overcome these difficulties. So I'm gonna further walk in the path of that goddesses or God. So it's all leading into spiritual enlightenment eventually. If my desire is again, say, having a child, getting married, having bliss in marriage, or just I'm so fed up with this worldly stuff, I need to have to do inner work and I wanted to find who am I, or wanted to attain moksha, we might take up to read this scripture for various reasons. no matter whatever those reasons are, while we are in this path of reading, there is a kind of determination that is needed to read the Parayanam, do the Upasana for whatever 7 days, 9 days, 11 days, 44 days, or 22 days, or I want to do it for 75 days, and so on. Whatever is the time you are initiated, guided, or you feel I want to do it till my problem gets solved. Different people do this for different reasons, right? So no matter in that path, you need to, if you have to go from, we are so used to follow one path, and from there we have to follow this scripture and read it, and before to it we have to do certain other prayers, after to it there's other prayers, we need to make prasadam, in whatever way, if you wanted to sit in a homa, you need to allow yourself to sit on the ground, wear traditional wear, and then it admits the fear, the fire, and the surroundings. You might have to let go of the comforts, the worldly comforts, and surrender to God for doing this prayer. Sometimes we might be hungry, we might not be in a great state of mind because of the problems or the pain we are holding on to, or the worry that is continuously coming in. Amidst all of this, we might have to, with fierce determination, focus on the prayers, on the hidden esoteric meaning of what this whole scripture is, and then, with the devotion, with faith, with reverence, do surrendering to Ma Chandi, Ma Durga. So, in order for us to do that, we need to evoke that. What is the trait? What is the seed within we need to grow is of this fierce nature of Arthadantika. With what fierceness she has done, that fierceness we also have to have. Sometimes when we do, we might get immediate results. Sometimes we may not get immediate results. But God also tests us, right, in different ways. So once we take up her path, we might face multiple hiccups, roadblocks, obstacles. Still, all of that, amidst all of that, are we still able to do this Parayanam? You know, to do that, what is that we need? One is her blessings, definitely. If that's not there, even we don't even get here, right? So, having said that, she is showing us the path and she is blessing us to do this Parayanam as a way to let go of our worldly problems or towards taking steps towards spiritual enlightenment, liberation, or clearing our karma, which is leading into this problem. Whatever that could be, we need that determination, the discipline of what she has shown, exemplary determination towards achieving that goal of killing that asura Raktadantura. So similarly, we also have to have that fierce determination to follow, to take up. No matter what, I'm not gonna leave you. She show me the way. Till this problem is solved, I'm gonna surrender to you. After that, definitely I'll be become more surrendering because of the problem is solved for me on behalf of doing this particular prayer. It's like a miracle magic, right? In case if I'm struck and because doing of one certain ritual, I get away, I get movement in my life. Obviously, I owe everything for that, and I'm grateful for that divine power, and further do it with more reverence, more faith. And that's how God pulls us into their path, isn't it? So till the time, wherever we are, to go to the next step. Okay, whatever we are seeking to get to that, with that determination, we need to go. So that's the thing that is the why we are evoking this bījam. Then what is that? We are also another way um, to look at you know the commitment. Okay, whatever is her commitment, we need to be committed to, she was, for what she was committed. Well, why do you have to, why does she have to kill these asuras? If you look at from that angle, So from all, this is a small detour, but it's all interlinked again. Um, like there is this all of this started with what? With this, when the Dwapar Yuga, there are like Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, like that, right? So these yugas, when it was moving from one yuga to another yuga, like Dwapara to Kali, Sage Kashyap, we have this lot of Saptarishi we call. So this in this Saptarishi, who are these rishis? We'll have it another discussion. For this sake, we'll just know that there are Saptarishis, 7 great sages, and in that one sage name is Kashyapa, and his daughter is Singika, and this Singika girl, she is wedded to a very very tyrannical demon by name Viprachittudu, and because of their union, they have 14 demons, and who really brings havoc to the 3 worlds, the Bhuloka, Swargaloka, Pathalaloka. All of the people who are in this world get so troubled by these 14 demons that to safeguard the harmony of this cosmic order, to let Suma Parvati, who's the who is the wife of Lord Shiva, assume she takes up the form of multiple forms, like a fierce warrior goddess who you know who wages a relentless war till I kill all of these guys with my divine powers. I'm not gonna keep quiet. So she is so committed to the role of her, she is considered to be the one who from where in Ma Chandi is the one who is considered to be the one from where even Lord Vishnu, Maheswara, Brahma emerged. We'll see it in Durga Saptashati. So from there, she takes up another form of more fiercefulness, where in order to maintain these cosmic orders and balance. So the same kind of commitment, with what kind of commitment she shows in terms of maintaining the universal order, to bring the justice and harmony. Similarly, that kind of commitment we need to show to ourselves in helping ourselves follow the path what we are destined to take. So things in our life are troublesome, say things don't happen because there's some unfinished karmic business in some lifetime. Like as an Akashic reader, I see multiple past lives and their interference in this current life and how it is impacting a particular element in their life, right? And then we heal it and we let go of it. So while I'm doing this work, I'm seeing like how literally someone has betrayed in some other past life, and in this lifetime they're going through set of betrayals, or there's a vow in another lifetime that I never want to have a money, so in this lifetime they're struggling with money. Some other lifetime they've seen that getting married is really really killing my freedom, and here I'm not wanting to get married in this lifetime. Or in some lifetime I'm sucked into another story and I'm reliving that life here, or in some lifetime I have caused some problem to others, and in this lifetime I'm balancing it by getting bullied or abused by some other. So it's a cycle and we are in that cycle. And no matter what we are praying sometimes, because it's not aligned, like I have seen in other thing also, one of my very close a person, they have also done Chandi Homa to get married, and then after that he got married, and then I see that his spouse, in 2 months she is diagnosed with cancer, and all the 8 months of her life, this boy was really serving like a child. But from a outside view, if you look at, you'll see that he has done the best homa available there, which is considered to be the very very powerful homa for getting desires fulfilled and to live happy life. So why is he blessed with a girl who already have cancer traits, and then it was not diagnosed, and in very early stages of his marriage it got diagnosed, and he has to serve and go through a lot of trouble. But you know the miracle, when you look at from, when I was looking in this, that was my foray into the God's plans actually. I was spellbound, like, wow. From an outside it looks like, what's the point in doing all these prayers if this is where we're gonna get into, right? When after we do certain big pujas and homas, and we get into such, land up into such troubles and such pains, obviously we will lose faith on God actually. But then the beauty is, if you look at from a, now I'm looking at it from a holistic, like the girls records, which have all the history of the soul journey and the path, the karma, and the interrelation between this boy and the girl. And I see that this boy and this girl had a past where it is told that this boy has to serve her for a very short time, with not from a romantic side, but from a serving side, to prove that his love for her is not just lust, but also it's pure love. And to prove that, they had this short marriage where the boy had no romantic or minimal. Let's not comment about that. But the point here is, it's more about serving her and completing that karmic loop, so that both of them again take up another life where they have fruitful reunion for a longer time. So now if you look at from one life point of view, it is like disaster, right? Going through this pain, and after doing, and after me being such a big follower of God, and I face such difficulties. But when you look at from a divine angle, it's, that short pain, what's 8 months of pain when compared to a lifetime of happiness for the next couple of lifetimes. We may not be aware of it, but that's how the God's plans work. So all we need to help ourselves is the awareness that if things are not working the way it has to work, there's something else that's getting cleared, that's getting nullified with this pain, with this suffering I'm going through. And when we are in God's path, God keeps giving us lot of support. Though we may not be aware of it, while we are completing this karma, though it might look that we are really walking on fire, eggshells, very, very painful, very, very nasty, sometimes heartbreaking, there will be always support from God in terms of a background, a subtle support. So that's when we realize that that's it, aligned with God's plans. Or if not, while we are keep on going, doing these kind of prayers and everyday surrendering, path will emerge, in terms of either the next steps. So that's how we should never, I think we should never question, or even, I know it's difficult, but you're going through pain. I myself also have questioned, let me be real honest. But then that's the learning. I'm also learning to accept, make peace and show the way. While I was going through the pain, the questions I used to ask was also, show me the path, what kind of things you want me to do, these kind of things, rather than getting maybe having animosity towards the whole process of surrendering to God, or not believing in God's energy or faith in miracles, what God can give us, or the the way God can show the way, or they can aid us in next level of evolution. So that's how it seems to. Though it's a little detour on these prayers, but I'm sharing my personal experiences, so that it feels like, we're not just trying to understand why that commitment is needed. Is while we go through these paths, all of us, I'm sure it's not new, right? You and me would have faced identical problems so far also. But having said that, I want to give you the confidence that please don't give up. So for that, we are evoking. So every day we are reading that Rakta dantikā bījam, we can remind ourselves that, yes, the path to do these prayers, or I have to follow this upasana, and requires commitment, requires dedication, requires discipline, changing multiple within my side. I should be open to it. Okay, and believe that she's there. She's as devoted. Again, another parallel story. We all heard about pativratas, right? So pativratas are the things like marital aspect after marriage. Just for reference of how a spouse should be. Here, spouse, I'm referring to both wife and husband. So there are, but the energies that are being shown to us are women. So please don't get deluded. If you are a man, that only woman has to show the signs of pativrata. Okay, both pativrata, patnivrata. But the point here is that if the again hidden meaning, okay, is how a spouse has to fulfill their marital duties towards their wife or husband or their parents or the family, society, in-laws. So some of the names they have given are, as I said, feminine energies of Mandodari, Sita, Draupadi, Sati. Well, let's discuss again pativratas and stuff in the next sessions whenever we have another videos. But today we are talking about the dutifulness. So one of the hidden aspects again about Ma Devi is like how what is the pativrata's uh, role? What are the role modeling we are conditioning towards is how dutiful you need to be, how devoted you have to be to your spouse, mm, how loyal you have to be to your spouse. And the same way, Ma, when we surrender and when we take her name and keep doing her prayers and chant her things, she shows that kind of devotion, that kind of boundless affection. We are, when we are truly in love with our spouse, when we are married, so we are so devoted. We give them boundless affection, right? So, so like a so much love, so much devotion towards our spouse. Similarly, Ma, to her devotees, she shows that boundless affection, boundless commitment towards making their lives better, fulfilling the devotees' desires, and helping them towards the path which can help them evolve spiritually towards moksha. So that's another. So when we hear this word as Rakta dantikā bījam, we have to remember when we are chanting about to start the prayers that yeah, she's so devoted, she's so committed. So I'm not praying to someone who takes me lightly. Not my time, no matter whatever the time I'm spending is not going to waste. Because that's what we think, right? Oh my God, I'm sitting and praying here, and I have a lot of commitments, I have a lot of targets, I have a lot of us has to reach that this children, so many things, and we need to, when we have to do the prayers. That's one of the reasons why I feel, people say we have to do prayers in Brahmi Muhurta, because during those early hours we won't be disturbed, we'll be very peaceful. We are not yet starting with the chores or the worldly matters. So that's when we can give our headspace very calmly 1-2 hours to divines work. So that is one of the reasons I feel. All of this is my understanding, dear ones. So again, any kind of variations in the in please put it in the comment box. We all will learn. It's not that I'm an expert or you're no less. We are all sharing, and all of us. My mission is to help people, follow the wisdom, the unadulterated, it sounds weird, with love, devotion, faith, or the wisdom tools that can help us evolve in life, either from psychology or spirituality or um, through habits. So I'm gonna share what I know, what I have acquired, learned, I have observed, I've practiced with my clients. Only those proven spaces I'm sharing with you guys. And whatever I have learned, and I'm also seeking, as I said, the Vani, she said she's gonna be my Vani, right? So I'm also checking with my Akashic masters, with the divine energies. I can connect with that whatever I'm talking, is it aligned with what actually it is to be. So I'm hoping it is. So please take it with a bit of acceptance. So that's how we can relate with, and we can evoke that energy of Rakta Dantika in us. So the power of the seed of what we need to grow every day while we are reading this scripture is of the fierce determination of the one side, then the fierce devotion in the other side. So these two things are what we are working within. The then is Tattvam, Agni Tattvam it's called. So what is this Agni Tattvam, Vayu Tattvam? So tattvas are some, in our scriptures, there's a lot of frameworks, methods, subtly integrated into these prayers and holy granthas for our references. So these are the tattva is like a fundamental element, principle that governs the universe. So the same tattvam is also integrated in Ayurveda. Based on that, they give us some medicines. Similarly, here, what is that why are we igniting Agni Tattva in the first? Is again, Agni is a symbol for purification, for spiritual liberation, illumination of knowledge. So while we are also looking at evoking each of these energies, the element which we wanted to ignite within us is the fire energy. The fire is a symbolism for quest, burning. So fire burns. So what is that burning desire I have is towards learning these prayers, at uttering it with right way, right pauses, the way it has to be spelled, the grammar, the syllables, all of it, so that it's all aiding in igniting my um, spiritual practice, transforming my karma, giving me those pathways that can help me have liberation from my worldly problems or from spiritual liberation point of view. And the other way to look at is, when we do this Agni Tattva, um, it can also sign that you can also do this in homam, because fire is an element of homa, and we are putting a lot of herbs, ghee, grains to evoke. Why are we doing again is, here the hidden meaning is fire is a messenger from earthly to heavenly realms. So through when we are doing homa and evoking the energy, it is it is a hidden meaning that though internally, because of the fire and the grains and the ghee and the herbs we put in the homakund, internally we are getting purified, and we are getting a hard reset about all our things that's been boggled our head. Along with it, some people, though we are very comfortable, we do homa just for the next level, going to the next level parts, in terms of power, in terms of success, in terms of whatever are our desires. Okay. So you might be all right, or you might be facing a problem. But the key underneath is you have to go to the next. You have some desire. So that desire to get fulfilled, Agni is considered to be a messenger to heavenly realms, because it's a sign, purification, sacrifice, transformation, passion. So all of these are Agni traits. So that is the reason we go ahead and do these Agni Tattvam. That means we have to have that fire energy activated to help us dispel negativity and bring blessings, and use light, like we do diya lighting, it's all integrated into the process of prayers. We chant, when we are chanting, we put agarbatti, we do karpura harati. All of these hidden meanings are just to dispel through various ways, symbolically representing, you know, uh, you know, reducing our negative samskaras, which are about our disappointment, failures, pain, depression, anger, jealousy, shame, stubbornness, whatever is that which is stopping us from seeking truth, seeking divine energy, or finding the person who I am, the God within me. All of these are the ways we can help ourselves get there. Okay. So other tattvas we might have is Prithvi, the earth element, and we evoke earth element by doing, again, for festivals, we do some agricultural festivals. We go to pilgrimages, and go to certain places to evoke earth energy. Then we do Bhumi Puja for all the construction works and stuff like that. It's because earth is considered to be a sign of stability, abundance, solidly, fertility. So all of the prayers around, these elements. Again, inside us also we have all of these elements are within us also, like I said. So based on that, we are igniting each of this element, to ignite ourselves. It is done with root chakra, the fire may be with the sacral chakra. And then we are talking about the water element, which is more about rivers. We go deep in holy rivers and see, just to wean the negative energies. We do abhishekam for gods, Shiva and everyone else. Panchamrita snanam anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ? We do Panchamrita snanam. So all of those for idols. So all of those are ways how we are including this or celebrating the water element, the apas tattva. Then we have also Vayu Tattva, which is the air element, which is signifying the expansion. So when you're doing the prayers, we also do the pranayama, which is the controlling of our breath. And, through our breath, we are controlling our body and harnessing our mind, connecting with the air element. So in some places also, when you're doing the Havan, Homa, the air is also part of the process of fire, where air will, act, amplify the fire element. So by chanting mantras, we are purifying the atmosphere. We are invoking the blessings of air element, and through it we are also working the fire element. And fire is considered to be the messenger. That is also one way we are also celebrating Vayu Tattva. Akasa Tattvam is again the more of the ether, the akasam, the infinity. So how are we celebrating this? Is more about the lingam. We considered lingam as shapeless. So why formless? Because he is anantam. So that is one of the way we are meditating on Lord Shiva, or we are focusing on the infinity aspect of Lord Goddess. Some of us relate with goddess, gods as universe, who is infinite. And then sometimes we also look into sound healing, in terms of bell. We ring the bell when you're doing the puja. When you go into the temple, we ring the bell. There are a lot of, the multiple cultures have given it multiple ways how you can evoke sounds for therapeutic purposes also. We have devotional songs in ragas, bhajans, different instruments that can also help us feel that, evoke those emotional, spiritual elements within. So that's all how we are celebrating our Akashic Tattva. So that is how we are, though I've explained other tattvas because it makes sense for us to also understand what other tattvas are there, isn't it? Next is Rigveda Swarupam. So what is the again the reason why we are looking at the Veda and reference of Rigveda here is, so we all know, just for the reference, we have Rigveda, we have Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvana Veda, four Vedas. So here Rigveda is mostly the scripture here is referred from Rigveda, where we are looking at, when you're doing Homa, Havan, we do it in a particular way where we are, the Vedic way of doing this chanting of the prayer. That's given in the reference of Rig Veda. Now, if you look at the next Yajurveda, it is the same Durga Saptashati can also be done in in mantras way. So that also, in other way, it's also in Yajurveda, you'll find a reference on how the same Durga Saptashati can be rendered, recited using mantra as a way. So Rigveda is all having Veda's way of, the Vedic way, in like, stressing at some places, and it's a different, like how the priest do a lot of chanting. In mantra, we'll have it in a mantra way. Then in Yajurveda only, we have two flavors again, just for reference. One is Krishna Yajurveda and one is Shukla Yajurveda. So Shukla Yajurveda, Shukla is white, Krishna is obviously blue black. Krishna is black, but And that's the color we associate with Lord Krishna, right? So what does that Shukla or Yajurveda talks about is the actual mantras and the reference, the meaning, the what does this mean, the details on how various in all of these um, explanations, commentaries, these are all included in the Krishna Yajurveda. So, but more or less, when they talk about, in other in Madhyam Jaritra, you talk about Yajurveda, it can also be chanted in it can be found, the reference can be found in Yajurveda, it can also be chanted in mantric form. Okay, because so people who can't do every day this, there's also written that you just study this much. There's a reference like that. So to facilitate that also, to give a reference to readers, disciples, they put that, okay, this one has to be done. The reference of this main will be found in Rig Veda if you are doing Agnita, like Homa and all of that. And if it is in Yajurveda, in mantric form also it is mantra form also it's there. And Samaveda basically talks about the swaras, how where it has to be paused, where it has to be done. So more about hymns and the where it has, it's more of musicality, the swaras, where what high tone, low tone. So all of these come together as one particular way of reciting this Durga Saptashati. So in mantra form, in Vedic form with swaras. So then it becomes like a more beautiful aspect. So the other flavor is, though it's not given, Atharva Veda talks more about, this. See, Vedas itself is a huge compilation. I'm nobody to talk about the in a short way, but whatever, just for reference, I'm talking. So all of these three talks about more about gods, deities, rituals. But Atharva Veda talks more about how a man can live in this world, more about the practical concerns humanity is facing, and what kind of domestic prayers, rituals, healing practices, protection charms or protection prayers to, help ourselves from destructive forces. All of this, what is that I should do for better health, for success, for prosperity, in short place, all of these, for curing diseases, what should I do, for communities to be with good health, lack of feminine, famine we call it, right, or to have timely rains, what kind of things I can do, just for the reference, like a guide, where what needs to be done for what kind of concern humanity is dealing with. So that kind of things are written in Atharva Veda. But here we are looking at Rigveda Swarupam, meaning this reference is brought in Rigveda. So in one line, what is the summary is Brahma is the Rishi, Lord Brahma. The main deity we are doing prayers is Mahākālī, but the Shakti, what is the Shakti we are evoking in Mahākālī is about enlightenment, the one which can give us peace and happiness with determination and devotion of dantikā Ma. Following the Gayatri chandas, the scripture has to be recited. The reference can be found in Rig Veda, and Agni is the fire element is what we were evoking within us, and also while doing the Havan, while practicing, doing various ways of igniting the Havan fire element. So that's what. And while doing this, what are we doing? This Pradhama Adhyayam we are studying. So now if you look at, when you read that, it's not, you're just reading it for the sake of reading. There's so much within inside for you to know, understand. So just see the difference. Before, when you read the lines, it is, how is your experience? After, now you understand the meaning of each of the words, that's, and now if I once again if I say, okay, Asya Pradhama charitra, first chapter, Adhyayam, Brahma ṛṣiḥ, Mahākālī devatā, Gāyatrī chandas.Nandā śaktiḥ.Rakta bījam.Agnistattvam.Ṛgvedaḥ svarūpam Śrī prītyarthepradhama, meaning for blessings of this form of energy of Mahākālī, to please her, I am reciting the first Pradhama charitra, first Adhyayam, first chapter of Durga Saptashati. So that's what is the meaning of these 3 lines. I hope this explanation is fruitful, insightful. So if you find this video worth sharing it to your peers of who are reading Durga prayers. And for your information, I'm talking from the context of Durga Saptashati, but the same kind of invocation prayers will be found in every prayers. So you just be present to next prayer you recite. You just see what all you're evoking, and there will be deeper meaning. I will try to do it when I'm guided. But now that you have this knowledge, please, when you're doing any other prayers, just be present to what kind of bijas you are evoking, what kind of shaktis you are evoking. Just do some research. By the way, this it's not available directly, so you have to do a lot of interlinking. But it's worth doing that research, is what I felt. Okay, so again, namaste. Sarvam Sri Jagadambarpanamasthu.